So I just wanted to share that idea. And the other thing that I'd like to share is I'd like to share a couple of the letters that I've received from people, and I'm going to leave their names out for, obvious reasons. I don't want anyone to feel like their material's getting, jacked off, whatever. That's not the right word. That their material's being taken and used without permission. Wow. Okay. This is from a woman who really, really touched me with her letter to me. She said, "Hi Clark, I've been reading some of your blogs and I so feel for you. You're an awesome young man and I think I've already told you that. I'm just," she actually, to cut away for a second, she expressed that she had these two missionaries in her ward that she thought one of them might be struggling with same-sex attraction, might be gay. And so she kind of had approached me about that and what I thought she should do. So she says, "I'm just letting the two young missionaries here that I feel are gay know that this is a gay-friendly home. However, if they are in need of backup, they'll know that they can come here and always find a friend. I'm so worried about all the young gay Mormons who feel suicide is the only answer. Is there more I can be doing?" You can imagine, how happy I felt to get this letter from an LDS woman who is obviously just really, really in tune with the needs of other people, which I find that very, very touching. So I responded and I said, "You sweet, wonderful person, just the fact that you are thinking about someone who is marginalized and possibly scared and alone is so compassionate. I don't think you know the healing power of your acceptance and willingness to help. I feel like things can be so different with people like yourself around. I think what you are doing is exactly what you need to do to help us, looking and praying for opportunities to open hearts, even hearts of men and women towards themselves, which is often the biggest challenge with some of the people who feel that there is no way out. They truly feel it is better for everyone if they are dead. They need someone to tell them that their life can be blessed, and they can bless others as a gay man or as a lesbian, or as a transgendered person, I might add. They are worthy and loved and whole, and they need to be open, and they need to open their hearts to that idea. The other thing is just to be able to raise awareness where you can about the existence of good people who happen to be gay. Would you believe that some people still think that being gay means being a dark, horrible person who serves the adversary? Unfortunately, as you may have read on my blog, my mother is telling me that the adversary is rejoicing over me and that I am doing harm to men and women by telling them that they have to choose between church and life, that they should choose their life. But that's another story. Anyway, please know how grateful I am for your letter. Your willingness to serve someone as sidelined as a gay Mormon shows the pure love of Christ in a way that truly touches me. Thank you, and God bless you." One thing that I haven't really mentioned on here, but I actually have a written blog, which is the Stripping Warrior instead of the Stripling Warrior, which if you're Mormon you'll get that reference, but it's a little tongue-in-cheek. But it's the Stripping Warrior at thestrippingwarrior.blogspot.com. I have a letter from my mother that that really just she really came at me in a way that I never ever thought that she would, and it was really painful for me because I expressed my pain to her, and she said that basically I was feeling pain because I felt guilty, and I wasn't able to really explain to her that I actually don't feel guilty about the lifestyle that I've chosen. I don't feel guilty about who I am at all anymore. I accept myself as a whole person and a loving person and a person who's completely wonderful and complete before God. But, it does make me feel bad to have a mother tell me that I'm serving the adversary and that I've lost all of the light in my countenance and that everyone at home noticed that, my countenance was darkened. I feel like, you have to kind of think about the things that people say to an extent. This is my parent, this is one of my parents, and I don't want to just say, you don't know me, because, your parents know you really well. They were there for all of it, But at the same time, I think you have to take the things that people say with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, again, I go back to this, they're choosing to believe something. They're choosing to believe that because I have had a boyfriend for the last 2.5 years, that has somehow darkened my countenance, and that has somehow put me into the service of the adversary. When I wrote to my older brother about this letter from my mom. He said, you know, if you really are serving the adversary, then the adversary has a very strange choice of servant, because, you know, he obviously feels like I'm trying to do good things, not bad things. Bad things? Anyway, so that's just a side note. I don't want to go on and on and on about that, but if you would like to read that letter, it's available online. This is a letter that I got that I found. I've had a lot of letters similar to this one. Hi Clark, I live in Utah alone in my house. I watched with great interest your YouTube videos describing your sojourn through homosexuality as it relates to the church. Thanks for being so honest and for providing information that is helpful to me. I'm also gay and struggle with my feelings as they relate to the church. I've also served a mission and in fact recently went back and visited the people I know there. What is your advice to me, a gay member of the church? What will change the mind of the brethren regarding homosexuality? Do you think any of them has gay children? I would appreciate your response. It would be helpful to me. So I responded and I said, hi, thanks for your email. I'm so grateful to have this medium wherein this information can be shared and available. I hate that gay men and women used to be isolated even from ideas other than the churches or their families. So I'm just glad you wrote, and it was for people like yourself that I took the step to make this video. Honestly, I don't know what to say about the brethren. I feel like they, along with many other church leaders from different faiths, have a tough issue here to face. Right now, they seem to be simply not dealing with it, from my perspective. Every now and again, there will be signs that things are beginning to shift. For instance, the recent Ensign article, which is a Mormon magazine, finally acknowledging that homosexuality is real and a powerful force, and that also many may never recover. Also, they have stopped officially telling gay men to marry a woman as a cure, which is good for everyone, especially the women that are being put upon the altar and sacrificed, which I'm very against. However, the real complaint that I have is that they have not denounced past words of prophets and apostles that have been extremely harmful and homophobic, such as the Crime Against Nature chapter of the Miracle of Forgiveness, and of course the infamous To the One pamphlet, which continues to be in print despite its utter ridiculousness. It seems the LDS leaders don't know what would happen if they face this head-on and denounce words from men who are passed on but who certain church members still revere. It seems to me that they will probably just continue to avoid the issue until gay marriage has become legal and normal. Probably it will be 30 to 50 years for it to really become more of a non-issue, and I think things will definitely change then. Despite the way members of the church feel that the church has never changed, I don't know where they got that idea, because, come on, I mean, things are always shifting, and you can call it a revelation or you can call it a change, but it's the same. I mean, either God is keeping up with the times or the church is, whichever one. It's your choice, but it's the same thing. I really feel like at its core the church knows it cannot be a successful missionary church if it doesn't move with the times, at least to some extent. Of course they will drag behind so they can remain as a part of the conservative force, but just as they did with civil rights, they will wait until the controversy is basically over and then look the other way until it is no longer on anyone's radar, and then things may change. But by then you and I could be 80 years old. My advice to you is to start looking within yourself for the connection with God that Mormonism has helped us all cultivate. That doesn't necessarily mean leaving the church, and I want to stress that. But I don't want men and women like you and me to become the victims of the time that we live in. What I mean by that is that I don't want us to live our lives without love and without a partner we can truly respect and embrace, sexually but also emotionally, simply because the church is in transition and won't get this straight for decades to come. I have made a choice not to be collateral damage for the church trying to find its identity in a changing world.